What? Oh, you want us to put the hurt on you? I think he wants me to put the hurt on him.
I think he wants you to put the hurt on him.
You think he wants me to put the hurt on him?
Yes, I do.
Ah!
How we doing, boys? Oh my god. Guess that's what I get for drinking root beer today. In my last regular show video, I talked about how Benson was my favorite character of the entire series, and that's still true. Among many other points, I reasoned that Benson had one of the best character arcs of the entire show. A character arc that was subtly referenced over the course of several seasons. And if you haven't already, you should definitely check that video out. But just because Benson is my favorite character doesn't mean that I'm incapable of seeing what is arguably the best character arc of the show. An honor that definitely goes to Rigby. To say that Rigby has his fair share of issues is a bit of an understatement. Throughout most of the first half of the show, he's an anxious, insecure, irresponsible, illiterate high school dropout that's so codependent in his relationship with Mordecai that he forged a rejection letter to Mordecai's dream college so that the two wouldn't be separated. Mordecai isn't blameless in the supernatural hijinks of the park, but in the first 3 seasons, Rigby is single-handedly responsible for 26% of the problems that happen in the park. In fact, here's the list of all the episodes in the first 3 seasons where Rigby is essentially entirely responsible for everything bad that happens. Just Set Up the Chairs, Death Punchies, Meet Your Maker, Grilled Cheese Deluxe, Don, Rigby's Body, L.O. Govna, It's Time, This Is My Jam, Temp Check, Jinx, Do Me a Solid, Over the Top, More Smarter, Skunked, Skip Strikes, Fortune Cookie, Excellent.
Bring me the omelet.
Dude, you're allergic to egg?
Trash Boat, Muscle Mentor, and Diary. Now, I do have little asterisks on It's Time and Over the Top because Mordecai and Skips in those episodes respectively did react pretty terribly to Rigby's antics. But these actions wouldn't have happened if Rigby hadn't been so aggressively, well, Rigby. It's not to say that there aren't reasons that Rigby is the way that he is, though. As you watch the show, you begin to learn that not only did he grow up in the literal shadow of his taller, more successful, and younger brother Don, he also had his overbearing father breathing down his neck and reminding him of his inferiority every step of the way. It seems like his mom tries what she can, but it's nothing compared to the torment that he gets from his dad, who ironically most of the time is acting just like Rigby.
Where's Rigby? I'm gonna kill him!
Please be careful. This is my dad's suit. He cherishes it. But he let me borrow it just for tonight because he really, really loves me.
You're not making any sense! Where's my son?
It isn't to say that Rigby's childhood excuses his behavior or makes it right, but it does function as an explanation as to why he ended up the way that he is. It's all of this that sets Rigby up as sort of an underdog in the show. And in its later half, we begin to see a version of Rigby that's learning to grow, change, and mature. These changes also happen to coincide with the beginning of his relationship with Eileen. When Eileen is first introduced in the 2nd season as Margaret's friend and co-worker at the coffee shop, Rigby wants absolutely nothing to do with her, to such an extent that Mordecai needs to beg him to go on a double date with her so that he can hang out with Margaret. This, of course, is what sets off the events of Do Me a Solid. However, as they begin to hang out more and their relationship becomes less one-sided, Rigby and Eileen grow to be really good friends before he reveals to Mordecai at the end of season 6 that they've been dating for several months, and they've been dating without him even knowing.
What would you know about relationships anyway?
Well, actually, smart guy,
Actually what? Spill it!
Eileen and I are dating! For like a couple of months now. We have matching bracelets!
Dude, that's crazy!
To me, this is an amazing and real portrayal of how most good relationships begin, with a solid foundation of trust and friendship. It's also here that we can get a retrospective look at Rigby's behavior since the beginning of the season and realize that this is the first season in the entire show that Rigby doesn't cause a single problem on his own. Sure, he and Mordecai get into a couple of shenanigans like the 10-foot sandwich, And we do see him struggle with his insecurity in Lift With Your Back when he leaves the park after not feeling appreciated, but it's clear that he's trying to be a better person. He has far fewer emotional outbursts, he isn't as constantly on edge, and he lets more things roll off his back that in the earlier seasons he may have tried to kill someone over. This change in Rigby is absolutely most exemplified in the 7th season, in the episode The Eileen Plan. Rigby, Eileen, Mordecai, and Margaret are hanging out at Eileen's talking about embarrassing things that they did when they were kids. And Eileen digs up an old plan she wrote when she was 12 that mapped out her entire life, which said that she would marry a brilliant man someday and become president. As someone who didn't even finish high school, this obviously makes Rigby incredibly nervous, especially since Eileen doesn't even know that he didn't finish high school. With this in mind, Rigby makes the decision to go back to school and get his diploma. And this is something that at first he believes that he's doing completely for Eileen, but in the end he recognizes that he also needs to do this for himself. And I think that this is something that makes their relationship really awesome. Not only does Eileen inspire Rigby to be better, she helps him realize that he has the potential to be better for himself. She isn't the one pushing him through and making him do this or giving him an ultimatum, but she's still incredibly supportive of the decisions that he's making. In fact, when she finds out he never graduated high school, she tells him herself that she likes him for who he is, and he still decides that he wants to continue because he enjoys the feeling of accomplishing something for himself. Now, I know it sounds like I'm giving Eileen most of the credit here, but I don't think that Rigby doesn't deserve the credit for turning himself around. Working on yourself is, well, work. And the amount of continued and sustained effort it takes to break your own bad habits, especially if you have certain friends that enable them, I'm looking at you, Mordecai, changing can feel absolutely insurmountable at times. Having the right people in your life helps a lot, but at the end of the day, changing your life is up to you. And I think that that perseverance and that will to change is what makes Rigby's arc so compelling. Anyway, if you guys like this video, What? Huh? I didn't talk about season 8. Weird, I'm not finding it. Looks like it must be some kind of mistake. I don't know. Oh well. Anyway guys, if you like this video, do me a solid and subscribe to the channel. We all know what happens if you don't return a solid. Leave a like, leave me a comment letting me know what you want to see from me, and share this video with anyone who you think might enjoy it. All of those things really help me out a lot. I'm not really trying to pigeonhole myself into talking about just one show because I feel like that would get incredibly boring, so this will probably be my last regular show video for a bit. But I promise I'll have a lot of other enjoyable content on the way very soon. As always guys, my name is Isaiah, and thank you so much for watching my video.